Let's crochet some super chunky slippers. The key to making yourself a pair of these is this very special kind of yarn. This is Tube Cotton Jumbo by Ice Yarns. It's a fiber-filled cotton tube yarn that makes these slippers chunky, yet light and squishy and very durable. They also just added multicolor versions of this yarn. How cute would these be in rainbow? Bernat makes a similar yarn called Maker Big, but it's a little chunkier, so you might want to go down a shoe size and use a bigger hook. And in a pinch, t-shirt yarn works just as well. So I used a 9mm hook for the soles and a 10mm hook for the rest of the slipper. We'll begin with the slipper sole pattern, and these will start with a chain determined by the size you're working. I'm making the small size, which is equivalent to a woman's US size 6 or 7, so I'm going to chain 15. Skip the first chain and work 1 single crochet into the next chain. And continue making 1 single crochet into each of the next 8 chains for a total of 9 single crochets. Then, in the next chain, start to build some height by making 1 half double crochet, and into each of the next 4 chains, make 1 double crochet. There's 1 half of a foot. To complete the other half, you can imagine how we need to come around and do the same thing on the back side of this chain. And to make our way around and shape the toe, we're going to put 3 more double crochets into the last chain. As we continue on, we'll match 1 for 1 the stitches that we've worked into the back of the chain as well. So work 1 more double crochet into the last chain to match up with this guy. And continue, make 1 double crochet to match up with this one. A total of 4 double crochets in the underside of our chain. You can see here, this is our half double crochet because it has 1 less little sash than the double crochet next to it. So I'm going to work a half double crochet into that stitch. Then continue on in single crochets to the end of my chain. And work 1 single crochet into the last chain to match the first single crochet of the row. And to come around the heel, we'll work 3 more single crochets into that first chain. And that completes round 1 of the 2 rounds of our shoe sole. Round 2 is all double crochets, and we're going to continue on in a spiral, so to build up to the height of a double crochet, we'll work 1 half double crochet into the first stitch of the round. Then work 1 double crochet in every stitch up to what I'm calling the toe stitches. Those are the 5 that are all in the last chain. Into each of those stitches, work 2 double crochets for a total of 10 double crochets in the toe stitches. Then continue on down the line, working 1 double crochet in each remaining stitch. When you get to your starting half double crochet, you can work 1 single crochet into there. And slip stitch into the next stitch. And that completes this little shoe sole motif. You'll know it'll fit if you place your heel at the back and you've got a little room up at the toe. My big toe does just about touch the edge stitches. For each slipper, you'll actually make 2 soles, and we're going to seam them together to make a doubly thick sole. I also want to add that you can use some fuzzy eyelash yarn and crochet another sole motif and adhere that down as we seam these together for an optional fuzzy sole in your slippers. So before we seam them together, let me show you how I'm finishing this one off. I'll leave the other yarn attached, but here I'm going to weave in the end like so. And the coolest part about seaming the soles is that you can bury your ends in the middle, in between them, since this yarn is normally a little difficult to finish off on its own. So put your soles together face up and match up the stitches. And I should add that you may switch to your larger hook for this part. That'll just make the slip stitches less tight, and then we can use the larger hook for the rest of the shoe now. So I like to pull my live loop through the corresponding stitch on the other side. Then work down into the stitches of both soles. Pull up and slip stitch. Again into both pieces. Pull up and slip stitch. Try not to get too tight with this part. And here's how your seamed sole will look. But we also need to secure down this middle part, and for this we'll employ some surface crochet. So into that first chain stitch on the heel, insert and pull up a new yarn. Then, heading towards the toe, we're going to insert into the next chain, out the back, and keeping that yarn in the back, pull up a loop and slip stitch through the first loop to surface crochet, essentially seaming the 2 pieces together in the middle. To move on to the shoe part, we'll have to cut the yarn now and reattach it at a different point on the sole. So let's go ahead and detach from the seaming and bury that end inside the slipper sole. Isn't that cute? It just makes me want to do stuff. You could really do any kind of sandal on this, but let's get started with our slipper. Examine the sole to find the half double crochet on the left hand side. I like to look for that little sash on the stitch. Single crochets won't have it, but you can see it on this one. And keeping in mind that the stitch sits just behind the post, you can follow it up and see that this is the double crochet that we worked into the half double crochet, and that this is the stitch that belongs to that double crochet. I'm going to stick my hook into the stitch next to it just to keep track of where I am. But I'll turn my sole around so I'm ready to crochet towards the toe. Remember that I'm in the stitch next to where I want to work into, so I'm going to fasten on my new yarn here. We will be working into the back loops on this round, so into the back loop, 1 single crochet. And I'm burying this yarn end in as I go. Into the next back loop, single crochet, and continue working a single crochet into each back loop around the toe portion of our sole for a total of 16 stitches. And before we continue on in the round, I want to add that we won't necessarily be doing the same thing on this side of the toe as we do on this side of the toe. That's just due to the fact that our stitches slant when we work in the round, and I've compensated for this by doing different stitch combinations on either side of the toe. So it's a little counterintuitive. I know we want everything to be symmetrical, but just trust me on this. I've done a lot of troubleshooting and this just works. So after your 16 single crochets, you're going to slip stitch into the back loop of the next stitch, slip stitch in the next back loop, and continue slip stitching into all the back loops down to the heel end. And when you've reached your heel stitches, what are the heel stitches? The stitches coming off of the 5 single crochets that went into that first chain to get around the heel of the sole portion. So you can kind of read your work and find these 5 stitches, or just eyeball the 5 stitches that are centered with the back of your slipper, and make 1 single crochet in the back loops of each of these 5 stitches. Then continue slip stitching into the back loops of the remaining slipper sole stitches. When you reach that stitch you first fastened your new yarn onto, we're going to complete round 1 and begin round 2 by working a single crochet into that stitch. In the next stitch, the first single crochet of round 1, work 1 single crochet. Work a total of 5 single crochets into the previous round's stitches. And in this next stitch here, we'll put a half double crochet. Across the next 2 stitches, we're going to double crochet 2 together. To do that, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 as if to make a double crochet, but don't complete it. Instead, yarn over and insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and now with 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops to do the double crochet 2 together decrease. And we'll do that again. Double crochet decrease across the next 2 stitches. We'll do it a total of 4 times, across 8 stitches total, or 4 sets of double crochet 2 together decreases. Continuing on with a half double crochet in this next stitch, followed by 1 single crochet, another single crochet, And in this first slip stitch here, work 1 single crochet. So only 3 single crochets on this side. And resume working slip stitches in the back loops of every stitch. We'll even slip stitch in all the back loops around the heel this time, just all the way around to the other side of the toe. And when you reach the slip stitch before the first single crochet of the toe portion, work 1 single crochet in that slip stitch to begin round 3. Continue by making a total of 5 single crochets, and in this last stitch before the half double crochet from the previous row, work 1 half double crochet into that stitch. Now, double crochet 2 together, working across the half double crochet and first double crochet from the previous round. Double crochet the next 2 stitches together, and once more for a total of 3 double crochet 2 together decreases. In the next stitch, work a half double, and in each of the next 2 stitches, work 1 single crochet. Before continuing on with slip stitches into the back loops, up to the stitch before your heel stitches from round 1. Now at this point I want to talk about the heel a little bit. While I'm pretty confident about the toe portion, I tried a couple of things for the heel and I couldn't really settle on one. What I did on this heel, and what I filmed, was to do 1 single crochet followed by 2 double crochet 2 together decreases and 1 single crochet on this round 3, and then just slip stitch the heel on all other rounds. On my other slipper, I actually slip stitched round 3, and on round 4 I did 1 single crochet followed by 1 double crochet 2 together decrease and then another single crochet. Then on round 5 I single crocheted 2 together twice across those 4 stitches. I think I like the look of this one a little better, but this one provided a bit more of a snug fit on the heel thanks to having more slip stitches above. So I'm going to leave this one up to you. I will have both instructions available, and you can always try one out and unravel and try again, because this little slipper is only 6 rounds, so no biggie. But yeah, here's me working the 1 single crochet, 2 double crochet 2 together, 1 single crochet heel. And it really doesn't matter if you work in the back loops or the whole stitch. So then continue slip stitching over to your toe to start round 4. And this time we're actually going to slip stitch in the back loop of that first single crochet stitch of the toe. And slip stitch into the back loop of the next single crochet. Then make 4 single crochets in each of the next 4 stitches. Across the next 3 stitches, we're going to double crochet 3 together to really close up the top of the slipper. So this is done very similarly to a double crochet 2 together. When you've got those 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and insert into the next stitch to pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through 2, and now you have 4 loops on your hook. You can yarn over and pull through 4 to double crochet 3 together. Work 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and into the next 2 stitches, the single crochet and slip stitch here, work 1 single crochet decrease. To do that, insert, pull up a loop, and insert into the slip stitch, pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through 3. Then continue slip stitching into the back loops. When you've worked around to the first single crochet of round 4, single crochet 2 together. Then work 1 single crochet in each stitch up to your single crochet decrease from the previous round. And work 1 single crochet decrease into it and the slip stitch next to it. And slip stitch around. All right, last round. Are you excited? Slip stitch up to the first single crochet decrease. Work 1 single crochet decrease. And another one. And another one. And another one. A total of 4 single crochet decreases across the top of the toe stitches. Then finally slip stitch in the back loops one last time all the way around. And when you finally slip stitch into your last slip stitch, you can cut the yarn and finish it off really nicely like so. And with a smaller hook, you can snake it down through the stitches and hide the end in the sole. And that is how you can crochet some really cool, unique, structural slippers. They're so cushy, and I love wearing them around the house. It's like having a portable kitchen mat everywhere I go. I hope you like this pattern. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!